feel like I look like LeVar Burton.
I'm gonna need you.
Not the black thing, but the glasses.
I'm gonna need you to address me more respectfully, because I am now a Magic the Gathering influencer.
You kind of look like Blade. Not the Wesley Snipes black thing, but
what the fuck? I mean, I think I have more hair than Blade. I also don't have a cool sword.
I thought you had a sword.
Well, yeah, but it's not on me.
Maybe next week we'll just ominously
Should I bring
have
my
it.
sword? I'll just have it out,
A
like
sword of some
unsheathed. I'm just holding it.
Yeah.
Okay, I will unsheath my sword next podcast episode.
You heard it here, folks. 100 likes and he's unsheathing it.
I'll leave the sheath at home, perhaps.
For those of you watching on YouTube, like and subscribe. Notice how we're 4 feet apart now.
Yeah, so we're slightly less gay. Or
No,
slightly more
less,
gay.
No, slightly less not gay.
Yeah.
Which is a long way of saying more gay. But I like the slightly less not gay.
So how do you, before I ask this question, actually, on Thursday you did your first stream. How do you feel it went?
I feel like it went okay. I didn't talk a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get better at managing. I didn't know that the chats were gonna ping in my ear.
Oh, like it makes a sound?
Every time.
Okay, well that's just a setting we need to turn off, because mine doesn't have that.
I want it because I'm not paying attention, because I have my computer screen to the left and my actual screen to the right, and it's angled, so I'm fully looking away. Like it's in the periphery.
Okay.
So I need to have something ping in my ear, but not louder than the game and the chat and the music and
okay, then we can just change the volume of it.
At one point I had 16 people watching me.
I hate you. I've never been able to get more than like 5.
Post a picture of yourself flexing on any social media and you will get thousands of people watching you.
I can't flex that hard.
Doesn't matter.
I may be able to get 10s.
You're a skinny white boy. You're the preferred meat.
The preferred meat of who?
The gay community.
Oh, okay. I mean, I did play.
And you can queerbait. It's like everyone's favorite thing.
True, yeah. I did play Overkill, and that game has a pretty high...
My LeVar Burton glasses are coming off.
LGBT community.
I don't think it really matters. It just matters that you post a picture without a shirt on, preferably in your underwear, and say I'm streaming, and you'll just get thousands of people viewing. Like that, just straight up. Just that's all you need.
You can on OBS, you can multi-stream, so you can stream to multiple platforms at the same time. One of the platforms it lets you link to is Chatterbait.
Learning Curve episode. This is 17, 18. Learning Curve episode 69. I'm calling it.
Live streaming it to Chatterbait.
Have you ever seen the video? I don't know his name. He's like a gay guy who goes on Chatterbait and talks to straight guys.
No.
I don't know. I have to find him.
Why are there straight guys on Chatterbait? Straight, I guess, but...
The same reason that there's straight guys on Grindr.
Yeah, that's fair. I was about to say, no woman is gonna pull up to a Chatterbait stream and be like, "Let me watch
women
this."
on Grindr.
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's
straight women.
Grindr is supposed to be a dating app. What it really is a fucking app. But Chatterbait is something you just watch to fucking beat off. So that's what I'm saying. What woman is pulling up to watch a guy stroke his shit? Because I feel like that's just not appetizing for women.
If you're a freaky woman, if you're cool.
I guess, yeah, if you were really cool and nice.
I feel like...
You'd watch me beat my shit.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of people would pay to watch you beat your shit. A lot of people would. And maybe you'll pay on this episode of the Learning Curve Podcast. Learning Curve Podcast. We We got to introduce ourselves.
Yep. I am Trinky Dink, aka Bodhi, aka the White Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs not already white.
No, he's red.
But
He's a crab.
White underneath. That's his shell.
No, crab meat is he's like a light pink. Because you remember the episode where he doesn't have a shell and SpongeBob hops into it?
Yeah, he's like
a light pink.
I would say he's the color of my tip, but that would be inaccurate.
What color is your tip?
I don't know. I would need the little hue finder thing, so it gives me the code.
Just take a picture of it on your phone and then go to the color dropper and the editing and then get the hex code for it.
That's what I'm talking about, the hex code, yeah. Comment what color you think my tip is. Right. I am not stroking my shit right now. But
surprisingly.
I'm Cameron. You know what? I was gonna before you came over, but I can refrain. I can be mature.
I remembered, and I brought my tarot cards.
Okay.
So,
do you have the instructions?
I pulled some up briefly.
Okay.
But
this is why we're sitting closer together, so that I can get a good view. I'm going to put my glasses back on. I don't want you seeing my poker face.
So, tarot cards you cannot buy for yourself or else they don't work. They have to be like gifted to you. So these ones were gifted to me a couple years ago.
Okay, so it's really good that I did not buy the tarot cards that I saw this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's like bad luck if you do that.
Well, okay. Could I theoretically gift them to someone and then they re-gift it back to me?
I feel like
what are the laws on re-gifting?
If you give away your tarot cards, that's also bad luck. You have to like.
Well, it wouldn't be my tarot card. I would buy it for someone.
Yeah.
So the other person. would get bad luck. Gotcha.
Yeah. I feel like it's just bad juju to do shit like that.
I want to point out, again, for those of you watching on YouTube, like and subscribe, and not see my ass cheeks today. And I'm in shorts.
Good job.
I'm wearing normal size shorts today.
So proud of you.
For those of you listening, I just widely opened my legs. So click over to the YouTube and skip to whatever portion of the show this is.
As far as tarot reading goes, I've had this done for me. I've never done it myself.
Okay.
But if I'm doing this wrong, please let me know, and I will tell you.
Yeah,
no, I did
specifically
it right.
If you're a white woman into this.
Where are all the crystal mommies at?
Yeah,
tell me how
they're
I'm doing
busy
this.
on Chatterbait watching you stroke your shit.
Okay, so the first thing we need to do is consider what questions we want to ask. So this is for you. What
are you gonna? Can you do a tarot reading for yourself?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have you do a tarot reading for yourself. I want to see what you got because I got a couple questions about you for you in your tarot reading.
Okay, well let's focus on yourself for a second.
Let's focus on myself first. Okay.
They can't be like. I mean, I guess they can, but the more like specific it is, the better. Like instead of saying like, how's my career looking, you can do something like like I don't know, but just like more specific is better.
Right. Okay.
And let's get 5 questions for you.
I have to have 5 questions. Okay.
Yeah.
So the only thing I just kind of preamble here. The only thing that I know about tarot cards is that the death card isn't inherently bad.
Mm-hmm.
It just means it's like a change or something. Like something is going to quote unquote die in your life, like a habit or something like that, and it's going to change.
I mean,
like
all the cards are open ended.
Yeah.
The
only reason I know is because I think it was the son of Sam, serial killer. He left the death cards at crime scenes in New York back in whatever the 80s. I think it was when he was killing, and people thought it was like a signature, but it's just a misuse of it. Okay, questions.
And then we'll do hold on, I'm reading this. I said we can do 3 cards for each question.
Okay.
So what's the first question you want to ask?
First question. I wish I would have known beforehand. because I don't really have. Okay, well, we'll do something. I can't get into specifics.
Okay.
Like names and dates and shit like that.
Okay. If you say any names or dates or anything, I can censor them out.
I just don't want. I don't want to. It'll be too hard to dance around it. So my question is I've told you about a project that I'm working on at work.
Yes.
You probably know which one it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I want to know if it's going to go the way that I want it to go, or if it's going to completely change.
Okay.
And turn out to be a disaster.
Okay, so let's start with the current state of the project.
The disaster.
Well, yeah, I know, but we're going to ask these guys.
Oh, okay.
We're going to ask these guys what
okay.
they think the current state of the project is going to be.
Gotcha.
So, first card we're going to flip over is the Two of Wands. Now, I am going to have to look up each individual card because I don't know what any of these mean. But it is pictured as a skeleton with two wands, and there's like a city in the background. He's like kind of looking towards the city. He's got one of the wands in his hand.
Am I allowed to touch these?
Yeah, you can look at them if you want. You just can't like.
Okay.
Let me see. Two of Wands tarot. There's actually supposed to be for each deck. There's supposed to be like a guide that tells you what each card does, because each artist's interpretation of the card can give the card different meanings.
Oh.
But this one didn't come with it. So we're just going off a general list.
Yeah.
And then if it's upright or upside down, that means different things too. So the Two of Wands, yeah, I don't need the description.
Well, was it upright or upside down?
Yeah, this is upright. If it's facing you and you can read it like that, then that's upright. If it's facing me, then it's upside down.
Okay.
Or inverted, whatever you want to call it. Okay, this tarot card is all about planning and moving forward. You've already set out to achieve a particular task, which means you tuned an idea into a realistic plan. Such a plan will require fulfillment, and therefore you have to progress from just having the plan to actually achieving what you set out for. So it's basically saying, we asked it, what's the current state of the project? And it says it's still in development, still needs work.
Active,
like,
or accurate.
Yeah, you need to work out some road bumps, whatever the case may be.
Yeah, you know.
Is that making sense to you?
Yeah, unfortunately, it resonates very, very clearly.
So next question we are going to ask is, what is the short-term future of this project? I feel like that's a good question here. Is it same sort of thing? Is it going to go well? Is it going to immediately get canceled? Are people going to lose interest?
Well, it's not going to get canceled. We've already spent the money, but it could very much go off the rails.
Okay.
Very quickly.
So short-term, let's say like next year, over the next year.
It's going to be in August is when it's supposed to be due.
Okay. So short-term future of this project is the Ace of Cups inverted.
Great.
Ace of Cups, if I remember right, is normally like kind of like a wealth and opulence like indication.
Oh, they're gonna give us a budget.
The cups are supposed to be like
for reference,
about money. I think
the budget for this project is $0. So
Ace of Cups tarot. Okay, well, it's not upright. Ace of Cups reversal. When it's overturned, the image here is clear. As the water pours out of the cup, it becomes empty. The gift of its waters are being wasted.
Oh, God.
Seeing the Ace of Cups upside down during your reading means you have been enduring emotional instability or pain for some time. There is a loss that is indicated here, and perhaps something that has meant much to you is no longer giving you the joy that it once had.
Well, yeah, we started with a pretty solid plan, and then it went quickly off the rails.
Okay, and this is indicating it's going to go more off the rails.
Oh, good.
Like
good. The next milestone for this is on Monday, so...
The water flowing out of the cup, because he's holding the cup like upside down, isn't good for you. this was short-term future of the project. So there
great
may be like somebody drops from the project, someone like kind of important, or someone not so important, maybe. Something that you need to actually do I'm also trying to dance around it. Actually do the thing is like,
well, there is a
missing, or it breaks.
There is a facet of this project that is potentially going to cost us $150,000. So
okay, well,
surely,
I think
surely that
there are 150,000 drops of water flowing out of this cup is what it's indicating.
Perfect. Okay, what's the third card?
Third card, we're gonna go long-term future. Is this something that is going to stand the test of time? Is it going to...
It's going to happen no matter what, but is it going to happen in the way that
happen successfully?
Yeah.
Like type of thing. Okay, so third card we got is the inverted Ace of Wands. All right, let me look it up.
A lot of wands going on here.
A lot of wands indeed. Ace of Wands. Hello, load please. Thank you. Reverse Ace of Wands indicates trials and tribulations that you will face in the near future. You might not have any direction, which leads to being uninspired or unmotivated. At this point in your life, you might not know what you really want to do. You don't know how to get you out of the slump. So we were asking it about long-term future, and reverse Ace of Wands indicates trials and tribulations.
I'm going to bash my head into the wall.
This is going to get easier.
I'm going to bash my head into a wall. This project is the bane of my existence.
It seems like it will work out to be that way. At the same time, like, it doesn't seem like it will last. So maybe that's good in terms of it's such a pain in the ass, but it doesn't last that long. So you don't have to deal with it forever.
Technically, this isn't even my project. It's one of my coworkers. I'm just helping out, but
okay,
I've kind of been thrust into it.
Okay.
And I hate it and everything to do with it.
Okay.
So I might have a more significant role to play in this project, and I feel like that's what it's trying to tell me, is that I'm going to have to play this role that I don't want to play.
Okay, yeah, I could see that.
So, is there only 3 cards?
I was just doing, like, current, near future.
Gotcha.
Far future.
Okay.
But, yeah, we can ask it anything in any order.
No, I mean, well, that's what I was asking, is, like, does it typically only consist of...
Oh no, the spreads, you can customize them however you want. Like, gotcha. Some people will do like this and then lay like a 4th one horizontally, but I'm only a level 1 wizard, okay. So I don't know how to do that.
MTG.
How to interpret it. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, that was that for you. I want to get one of these cards tattooed on me. I'll show you at the end, but right now the magic is in them, so I can't really like pull one out.
Something just moved over there. I don't know what it was. Why don't you ask it a question?
You want me to ask it a question?
Yeah, we'll alternate. And I'll give commentary.
Okay.
Unless you want me to draw it for you.
I don't think you can.
Why am I not allowed to?
It's like the same sort of shit as like you can't buy them for yourself type of thing.
So I can't use your deck.
Yeah.
That's gay.
A little bit, but hey, I don't make
Spirits
the rules.
Spirits are
gay. Okay, you know what? I made a joke earlier that I am a Magic the Gathering influencer now because I posted a TikTok and I got 4,000 views and I had people talking to me and like liking it and following me and shit. So I am going to ask it about that. We're going to see if that is a future career path that I end up taking. Yeah, if I become a
flip the TikTok ban card.
Yeah. Okay, so let me give it one more shuffle and a split. First question about that I'm going to ask it is, was this just a one-off or is it going to happen routinely if I keep up with it? I feel like that's a good good question to ask it. I flipped the High Priestess. See, this is why I love these cards, because look how fucking sick that is.
Kind of a baddie. Body goals. This is the type of woman that's watching you beat off on Chatterbait.
The High Priestess is watching me stroke my shit.
This is what she looks like. Chat. Go to YouTube, like and subscribe.
Okay, let me see it.
She was facing you.
Yeah. The High Priestess. The meaning of the High Priestess is related with inner knowledge. Her appearance and her reading can signify that it is time for you to listen to your intuition rather than prioritizing your intellect and conscious mind.
Quit your job!
When the High Priestess shows up, it can depict an archetype known as the Divine Feminine. Mac Miller. He's going to come back.
Is there a Mac Miller album called The Divine Feminine?
Yeah. The mysterious female that understands and holds the answers to the deep unknowns, religion, self-nature. She represents someone that is intuitive and beginning to open to his or her spirituality. Meditation, prayer, and new spiritual work is indicated. Okay. So, essentially what this is saying is it's telling me to listen to my intuition rather than my intellect. So,
what does your intellect tell you about your is this short? This is short term.
This is, I asked it, is this video that I posted, is it a one-off thing, or can I turn it into like a routine
you're
thing?
asking it a series of questions about the okay.
Yeah.
So what does your intellect tell you? Is it a one-off or is it a...
My intellect tells me that if I post another one, it is not going to do nearly as well, and it will make me sad.
Okay. And so it's telling you to listen to
my intuition.
What does your intuition tell you?
I don't know how those are different. So,
well, your intellect is like your logical reasoning, right? So for me, just an example, if I was, this is actually a really good, I have a real life example. So when I took the job that I'm in now, I got offered 2 jobs at once. One was lower paying, but it was at the place I worked at before, where I wanted to stay working, but it was only like a $300 a month raise. This new job that I'm at was over $1,000 a month raise and better union stuff and closer to home. But it was a completely, like, it's just out of my degree field. Just huge career shift.
Okay.
My intellect told me logically was, well, I'm getting promoted, and in the place that I work for now, when you get promoted once, it kind of is like a domino effect. It shows that you're, like, if you get promoted and you get through the probationary period, you're good to go. Like, they'll just promote you for breathing, essentially.
Okay.
Every time after that. So my logic told me, no, just take the lower paying job and suck it up for a year. But my intuition told me, no, you need to go with the higher paying job in Midtown versus driving 45 minutes to Rancho Cordova every day.
Okay.
So it kind of was like, it's like your intellect and your, like, it's more like your gut versus your heart. Or, well, your heart versus your brain, essentially, right? They can line up. They can both be telling you the same thing. They don't have to tell you different things. But, like, your brain is telling you, like, don't believe that this is, like, you know, something that is going to be repeated over, like, guaranteed to be repeated. It's a chance thing.
Okay.
But your heart might be telling you, no, this is something you're interested in. Keep doing it, even if you get no views.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I post our TikToks and we get 2 views sometimes. So
yeah,
you know.
Okay. I think that does help. The hard part is just coming up with more ideas for stuff that I'm about to post. But I have some things that I want to do, so maybe I will keep up with it. We'll see.
Do a TikTok dance.
No, I'm not dancing. I can't dance.
TikTok dances aren't hard.
I don't want to do those though. They're bad. They look weird. All right. Next question I'm going to ask. If this is a path I pursue, will this end up enduring?
You're going to be the next Noah Beck.
How do you know so many children?
Noah Beck is like 25.
Is he? I thought he was like, I don't know. Any name that I hear from TikTok, And that, because I know that guy is like from TikTok. I just assume they're like freshly 18 or 19.
No.
Okay. Okay, yeah. So if this is something I end up pursuing, will it endure? Like, is it something I could do for a while? And I got the 7 of Cups facing me. I don't think I've ever seen this card.
7 cups of lean.
Yeah, 7 cups of walk. All right, let's see here.
Well, he looks that up. Everyone go watch Bone Tomahawk.
The fuck is that? Is that another movie you saw?
That's the movie I was telling you about on stream.
Oh, yeah.
I misrepresented that I watched it in full. By stream, I had 25 minutes left when I started stream, so I finished it, but the ending was just as good as everything else, so.
Okay, so to draw the 7 of Cups in a reading shows that I need to clearly see the shadows and visions in my imagination, not only in your dreams, but also in the real world. You should be careful of wishful thinking and be alert of the choices that you make. In one sense, the 7 of Cups indicates that you are a dreamer who's both excited and afraid of the things that you see in your unconscious. In another, the 7 of Cups is a reminder that although it is good to have dreams and wishes, it is even better to take action attaining those dreams. At one point in life, you'll need to start fantasizing and face the reality of life.
Damn, it told you, turn the computer off, go work in the coal mines.
I think it's saying, like, it's fine to want to pursue things, but at the same time, you need to do it realistically.
Don't quit your job.
Yeah, no, don't quit my job.
Ignore what I said at the beginning of this reading.
Yeah, and I asked it, is this something that can endure? Should I pursue it?
Well, a lot of TikTokers, a lot of really famous TikTokers still have their day jobs.
Yeah, I know, and I wasn't expecting this to be like, oh, I quit my job next week because I'm making fucking big bucks. Although that would be nice, don't get me wrong. But even if I was making money from something like this or whatever I'm doing on Twitch or whatever, I would still want to have enough money built up that I'm like, okay, I can live off of this for the rest of my life before I quit my job.
Yeah.
So I think this is just telling me, like, yeah, it's okay to
don't jump the gun.
Yeah, don't like immediately all in on it, and to make it endure, I have to be smart about it. I can't like act irrationally or impulsively towards things, but it's also okay to be excited and want to dream about shit.
Okay.
Next question. Are any of my ideas even good? Would they be interesting? Would people want to,
like, for your content for Magic the Gathering? Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would people even care about what I'm talking about? I flipped the star facing me. So let's see. The star. Upright star meaning. The star brings hope, renewed power, and strength to carry on with life. It shows how abundantly blessed you are by the universe. That's just not true. As evidenced by the various things around you. It may not be directly evident at the moment, for this card follows the trauma of the Tower card. Remember that you hold within you all that you need for your fulfillment. The only thing that I need is courage. For this, you have all reasons to rejoice. To see this card is a message to have faith, for the universe will bless you and bring forth all that you need. So it's essentially telling me, don't even worry about it if it's good or not. Like, just believe in yourself.
Oh, I want you to be happy.
It does.
If it makes you happy, bro.
Do I want me to be happy is the question.
If it makes you happy. Ask that next. Ask if it'll fulfill you next.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. Is this something that would fulfill me? Is this something I would find fulfilling? Ooh, the 8 of Pentacles inverted.
8 devils.
8 devils.
Oh, that's
8 naked devils at Ram Ranch.
To sign me up.
Eight of Pentacles.
Call me Lil Nas X. Not the black thing, but the devil thing.
Oh my God. Dude, you're gonna piss off that 71-year-old guy.
Oh my God.
And that shit was so fucking funny.
Go look.
Go look at one of our recent TikToks.
Oh, no, YouTube short.
Oh, it was on YouTube?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which made it even more funny.
Yeah, that's a little bit crazier. But shout out to that 71-year-old guy. Don't like harass him or like start replying to his comment or anything. But
let me pull it
what
up.
were we talking about?
It was last week's episode when you said the horoscope told you that you were gonna hook up with someone. Oh, and then I touched your hand.
Yeah, and he was like, I don't understand why people care about the color of other people's skin. It never made sense to me.
Pull it
which,
up. Quote,
great on him.
He is a 71-year-old man and will never understand why the color of person's skins matters so darn much. I don't care what color anyone is. I care about the type of person they are. Honestly, woke. Thank you for the woke comment.
For a 71-year-old man, that is very like progressive.
Thank you for the woke comment, but
yeah,
off topic.
Yeah, off topic. It was just insane to put that comment on that video. It was great though. We loved it. Okay, so it wasn't upright. Reversed Eight of Pentacles. When reversed, the Eight of Pentacles signifies something similar to the upright position, but the tasks may be even more demanding. This means that you need to execute swiftly and with great care if you want to be happy and successful with this outcome. In terms of work, the Eight of Pentacles reverse refers to the importance of impressing your employer through your diligence, dedication, and intelligence. Never avoid any task or responsibility in your work, or else this can damage your reputation. And then it just talks about love, but I didn't ask about love. So
it wants you to do tight, efficient work. So yeah, you gotta post something like
every day.
Well, yes, every day, but it can't just be slop. It's got to be well thought out.
Okay.
And to be honest, the TikTok algorithm does like it when you post multiple videos in a day.
I feel like I've done that before, and like the first one got sent through the algorithm, and then the second one just didn't.
Yeah, well, you got to keep posting. Like the app rewards you for coming back onto the app, which is why when I post our videos, I close the app and like straight up do not open it back up until like 4 p.m. Because it wants you to come back, and if you come back onto the app and there's a bunch of likes and comments and shit, you're going to interact with them, and it's going to give you a boost of serotonin, so it knows, oh, this person's going to now open the app up a bunch more times to check.
Oh yeah, that's what I've been doing with my most recent one. Like I check it like once an hour. I'll go through and I'll like people's comments or like reply to them or whatever.
Yeah.
But okay, so what this is saying is I need to be efficient with it. So don't post them like 5 minutes apart from each other. Maybe do like one in because I think I posted this one at like 11 a.m.
Well, you could do a part 1, part 2.
I hate when people do that,
but it's engagement bait.
It is, but I don't know.
You gotta bait somehow.
I gotta bait.
Chatter bait, engagement bait, queer bait. Figure it out. Just bait.
Okay, so it's saying be efficient, be smart with how you're doing it. Don't put out slop. And that's how I will get fulfilled by it. If I'm putting out good shit, it'll make me feel good, is what the cards are telling me.
Hollywood, we're looking at you. No more slop.
No more slop.
Kill the Russo brothers.
Oh my God. We're both getting visits from DHS.
If DHS is listening, the Russo brothers voted for Kamala Harris.
If DHS is listening, I've never made a joke in my life.
I made a joke, but comedy's legal now, according to your little leader. Your little South African leader.
Okay. I feel like that was a good reading for me.
Quick side note. If you got those South Africans and coming into your community, the white South Africans, it is your American duty to make their life a living hell.
I'll give you the pass. You can call them crackers.
The cracker pass.
Yeah.
Me at the barbecue. Handing out the most unseasoned meat possible.
All right, your turn. Okay. What are you looking for wisdom in?
I'm trying not to make this a lewd thing, so I'm going to ask it a normal question. We have been talking about moving.
Okay.
Forever now. Now that Sean has gotten his new job, we're going to be starting pretty soon here. I'm making more money. He's going to be making way more money than he currently is now. I want to know what the short, long, and kind of logistics of the short and long possibilities of moving, what the outlook looks like first.
Okay.
And then I'm going to ask it a couple questions related to moving about where.
Okay. I fuck with that. Okay. So you want to know short-term possibilities of moving is how we're starting.
Yeah. Well, it's not I guess, like, is it going to happen quicker? Or is it going to happen? Because we are going to move. Like,
okay,
it's
so
going
the
to happen.
Speed at which you're going to
yeah,
move.
is it something that I should be kind of considering in the short term, or something that I should be considering in the long term?
Okay, let's see. First card for you is
I guess what is the short term outlook on moving?
Okay,
and then I'll ask it what the long term is.
Okay,
Queen of Wands.
Queen of Wands
Upright.
For a short term.
Yes, like what are
outlook.
the short term? What's the short term outlook in moving?
In general, the Queen of Wands in a reading meaning may depict a person of extreme focus and fiery passion. She is courageous and individualistic, though at times she may appear self-centered. They have a positive and an uplifting energy. They represent someone who is willing to be by your side and standing up for you. In terms of work, in terms of finances, love meaning, career meaning, finances meaning, as actions. When you draw the upright Queen of Wands, it's a powerful reminder to tap into your inner confidence and take bold actions. You should channel your passion into creative projects or leadership roles, allowing your natural charisma to shine. So it seems like what this is saying is that you need to be confident in your decision.
Okay, so thought out.
Yeah.
Okay, that doesn't sound like something that's gonna happen in the short term then.
Yeah, if it is
moving is a lot.
Yeah, if it is in the short term, it needs to be confident. It needs to be something you are absolutely 100% sure of, and that you will be able to manage and handle responsibly.
I am never 100% sure about anything. I have buyer's remorse about groceries.
Fuck, I shouldn't have brought these Triscuits.
No, literally. I will like go buy some muffins at Costco and I'm like, I'm not going to eat these. I don't know why I bought these. Okay. What are the long-term implications of moving? What did that look like? Or I guess outlook.
All right. Long-term outlook of moving. 10 of Swords inverted.
Damn. This guy got penetrated.
He did with 10 swords.
Ooh. Can I be the model for this?
You want to shoot a tarot set?
I want to get penetrated by 10.
If we ever make a
swords.
Patreon, that'll be our like
gift,
one of our merch items. Well, if we reach a certain goal, we'll shoot you naked for a tarot set.
Do that for free.
10 of Swords
inverted.
Whether reversed or upright, the card signals the finality of defeat. There is no way to avoid this tragedy. It has happened over a long course of events that have been a long time coming. With the reversal, though, it also comes to a recognition that you have hit rock bottom. There's no more that is left for you to give. But that also comes the release that things can only get better and the cycle can start anew. But like with the 8 and 9 of Swords, this release may be initiated by you. There's an opportunity being presented here to correct what has hurt you, but you must make the effort to climb out yourself. So it's essentially saying you're fucked. This one, the Queen of Wands that we did for short term was saying, okay, be confident in your decision. This one and the long-term possibilities is saying you're fucked. So what these two together are telling me is that you're going to move sooner than you expect.
And it's going to fuck me over?
Well, you're going to move sooner than you expect. You need to be confident in that decision and believe that it was the right choice. Because if you wait too long, you're just going to get fucked.
Okay. I think that's good, actually, because I was hoping that it would be in the next 365 days. So.
Yeah. Okay. 366. Housing market collapses. you lose $200,000.
That's the whole. Okay, that's the whole thing. Is I was telling Sean we gotta like really time it out perfectly because the housing market's gonna collapse.
Oh yeah.
But if it collapses, this house gets nothing.
Yeah.
But if we sell the house before it collapses, we get everything.
Yeah.
Then we can buy a mansion for $5.
Yeah.
And have a bunch of money left over.
So I think this is what it's saying. We're going back to 2008. And you gotta be...
Roll out the Bush administration.
You gotta be... what's his face? The dude from The Office. That was also in The Big Short. Steve Carell.
Oh, man. I gotta be a good actor sometimes. Okay. My third and final question for the housing thing is, am I gonna get a house where I want to the standards that I want?
Okay. So is this house going to be everything you picture?
Well, fit the mold.
Fit the mold.
Because when you're house shopping, you can't.
Yeah.
You can't get it's very rare unless you build it yourself, which is something we've also considered, but that's down the road.
Yeah.
But you might say, oh, I want 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, and a library or a room to turn into an office / library and a pool, and you might not get the pool. You got to kind of settle. But is it going to check the majority of my boxes off?
Okay.
Essentially.
Ooh. We got the reverse Knight of Wands. Let's see. What does Mr. Horse with Wanda mean? Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands reversal. When you get a reverse Knight of Wands, it indicates frustrations and delays. You may feel angry in that you are not getting anywhere. A reverse Knight of Wands can translate to a loss of power. You may be trying to compensate for something that you don't have total control over. This might lead to pessimism and loss of self-esteem. So it seems like you aren't gonna get all of your amenities.
My one thing is that I just want a backyard for Havoc.
He's not getting a backyard, I hate to tell you.
We got to put him down.
It's either he's not getting a backyard, or it's like a backyard with rocks, like old people.
We can work with that because Sean's dad's a landscaper.
Okay,
we can work with that. We need the physical thing there.
I think either way, this card is indicating that it's going to be like a fixer. Like you'll get it, it'll seem great, but then something is going to happen.
This seems like it's going to be bad news for Sean, because I'm someone who's very convinced that I can do anything.
I mean, most stuff around the house is not that hard to do.
Well, for example, we need a new bed frame because the bed frame we have now is likely to collapse.
You monsters.
And no, it was given to us like that.
Oh.
It was a bed frame that was built inside someone's house. And so the slats were all like fixed in.
To like their walls?
No, into the bed frame.
Oh, okay.
And so to disassemble, because it's a California King bed frame, to disassemble it, they had to break the slats. Oh. And so my bed frame is currently being held up by 2x4s, but there's nothing in the center to like prop it up.
Yeah.
So it's just 2x4s that are slowly getting more U-shaped.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah. I mean, bed frames are super expensive. A quality bed frame is...
I was about to say, mine's made out of like thin metal pipes.
Yeah, and it was probably like what, a couple $100s?
I don't remember. I got it off fucking Wayfair.
Yeah, the one
came with a child.
The one that I want is like $3,000, and it's not even anything special. It's really not.
Does it have like a spot to plug your phone in?
No, it's like a platform one, so it looks like it's floating.
Oh, I love those.
Yeah,
I want one of those so bad.
So I'm absolutely convinced that I can build a platform one.
Oh yeah, they're not that hard to build.
The only thing is I lack every tool to do so.
You just need hammer and nails, and like
you need to get
a measuring tape.
You need the wood to get cut.
Yeah,
properly.
Yeah, you can do that at Home Depot. They'll cut the wood for you.
Well, that's the whole thing. So when we went and bought the slats for the bed frame, We didn't know how wood was priced, and so it was like, oh, $4.99, and we were like, fuck yeah. Go to ring it up, and they're like, it's $4.99 a foot.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
It's like rope or like any other
kind
of thing.
I need to go find wood, and I would like to. I think I could build it in a weekend.
Yeah, it wouldn't be that hard. You just build a box that's slightly wider than your bed that it can sit on, and then you do the whole like cross section shit to give it support.
Yeah.
And then you just build like a platform that sticks off of that a little bit. Well, so it's like floating.
What I was going to do is I was going to build a box and then put the slat. So basically put the rectangle, right?
Yeah.
And then put the center slat in.
Yeah.
And nail it. Cross nail it with long ones, or drill it. I have a drill bit. And then wood glue it as well as I slide it in there, so it's like double held. And then do slats going to the center beam.
Yeah.
And then just put a piece of like plywood on top, overhanging it, nail it down, sand it, varnish it.
Yeah, that would work.
But again, I'm convinced that I can do all of this with no instructions and no input and no like.
No, yeah, you don't need input. That's pretty simple shit.
I'm also
if you were doing something where you're like, okay, I need to
well, the thing is,
you could get a centerpiece for it that's like slightly longer than the inside, and like cut it down so it's like a little shape, and then you cut a shape in the rectangle part so that it kind of fits together like a puzzle, and then do it like that. That I would be like, okay, you can't do that. That's well, you can, but it would just take fucking forever, and you would probably fuck it up and need to buy the wood a couple times,
right?
But with no experience,
right?
But yeah, just building like a simple bed frame, I think, is pretty simple.
Yeah, I'm convinced I can do that. There's a couple other projects around the house that like I'm absolutely convinced that I can do with like absolutely zero experience, like putting in dimmer switches on everything.
You're going to fucking fry yourself. Yeah, electricity is the one thing that I'm like, okay, I'll call somebody for it. But like anything else around the house, I'm the same mentality where I'm like, I could just figure it out.
Yeah. So
maybe not replacing a window. I don't think I could do that either.
Well, that's the whole thing, is so we don't have a window in our bathroom, but I really want a window in our bathroom so that like it can air out like when we take a shower, because it gets real steamy in there even with the fan on.
Yeah, when you shit.
Yeah, but when we take a shower. And I was like, oh, I could cut a hole in the wall and install a window. And then I thought about it and I was like, I don't know anything about window installing. Why would I think I could do that?
Bathroom windows, I think, would be easier. But what I was talking about is like replacing the glass on this. Like if that shattered.
You just buy the window.
Yeah, but if it like shattered and you're like, I just want to replace this one pane that like broke.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't be able to do that.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that. I feel like cutting a hole in that wall wouldn't be that hard either.
Well, I'd need tools again.
Yeah, true. You got to cut through the drywood and make sure you're not cutting through like a supporting beam or something like that.
A pipe, a wire, anything. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. This seems like it's more bad news for Sean because I feel like I can fix anything.
Do you have any other questions about your future housing?
No, that was really it.
Okay.
All right, go ahead and ask it one more set of questions for yourself, and then we'll wrap it up.
I was going to ask it about the podcast.
Okay.
About us.
Ask it if you're bisexual.
I just flip a card that says yes. What are some questions we can ask it about the podcast? Like, are we doing this right?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, we'll start there.
It's gonna tell us no. It's gonna be the no card, the no of hearts.
The no of hearts. So are we doing this right? I'm always worried about the sustainability of things. So I'll be like, is this sustainable?
Okay.
And then, are we going to see success from it? Will be my third question. Oh my god, I completely fucked
Singapore
that one up.
and Thailand, surely.
South Korea is also listed on our demographic on YouTube.
Hell
but
yeah.
It's showing 0.
I would love. It's a proxy for North. Kim Jong-un's listening in. Kim, if you're listening, wire me some money.
Kim.
You're actually, you know what? If you're listening, my waist size is 32. Inseam is also 32.
You trying to get fitted like him?
My chest is 56 inches. I don't know what any of my other measurements are as far as that, but I wear like a large, extra large t-shirt. Do with that what you will, but I will just say your fits are hard for being a dictator, as most dictators are.
Dictators just have the best fashion.
Bodhi shot me down ranking all the dictator fashions for a podcast episode. If you send me some North Korean fit, we'll call it even. I don't have any beef with you, but we'll call it even.
All right, so first question we're asking about the podcast. I'm going to read these facing me.
Yeah.
What was it? Are we doing this right?
Are we doing this right? Yeah.
Are we doing this right?
Oh God,
the
it's
High Priestess again.
Okay.
So what did that indicate last time?
Nothing good.
I thought it was. Star, 7 of Cups, High Priestess. Here we go. Upright High Priestess. Related with inner knowledge is your time to listen to your intuition rather than prioritizing your intellect. Okay. So.
Oh yeah, this was the trust your gut, not your head.
So I think it's saying.
What does your head tell you?
What this card is telling me is that I shouldn't be worrying about if we're doing this right or wrong.
We just got a vibe.
Yeah, we just got a vibe. We just got to keep doing ourselves.
We'll hit the stride eventually, and then we'll ride that stride, which is exactly what I do with all my other shit.
Yeah. What does this mean to you? Same thing? You got any different little insight on it?
I do find myself a lot of the times thinking about like ways to improve.
Mm-hmm. I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't think it's a bad thing, but I do think I dwell on it a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I kind of question a lot of the things that like I do. And so maybe I should stop.
Like just kind of
hyper fixating on it and kind of just let it flow out.
Okay.
I think I've gotten to a point where I'm fine being on camera.
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten to a point where I'm fine speaking into the mic and having like a conversation. But like, rather than like saying something and then thinking about it as I'm still talking, you know,
just say it.
Just kind of say it and don't be afraid. So just kind of continue with that.
Okay. What was the second question I was going to ask?
I don't know. It was, are we doing this right? The longevity? Was it?
Longevity. Okay. Yeah. We'll ask it about the longevity of the podcast. How long are we going to survive?
The calendar year of hearts.
We got Judgment. This is one of the ones I was thinking of getting tattooed on me.
Can I see?
Yeah. Like the upper part where the skeleton's coming out the clouds with the trumpet.
That's kind of hard with the wings.
Yeah. And like the little fucking
I like how the center one's bent over for back shots.
What? They got back shots on that card?
The second one. The middle guy.
Oh, fuck. You saying bust my shit down?
Fuck. You probably don't get them for Instagram ads, but I got this ad on Instagram, and it's a hat that says I'm a good boy, which is like very fitting for me, right?
Uh-huh.
The fucking ad is a guy getting his cheeks clapped from the back.
That's crazy.
Like full on.
While he's wearing the hat?
Yeah. He's like he has the hat backwards. No, it's like a picture of him. He has the hat backwards. You could see it on the little fucking decal spot. Completely naked. You see the top of his ass. You can't see his crack. You just see the very top of his ass, but he's like looking back.
Oh. I thought it was going to be like you can see it, but like there's like some hands on his shoulders or something.
Honestly, if I start watching Instagram stories right now, I'm going to get it. Popped up at my sister's graduation yesterday.
Okay, upright judgment meaning. The traditional judgment meaning focuses on the moment when we reflect and evaluate ourselves and our actions. It is through self-reflection that we can have a clearer and objective understanding about where we are now and what we need to do in order to grow as humans. The judgment card appearing in a reading signifies that you are coming close to this significant point in your life where you must start to evaluate ourselves. So the first card was don't think about it too much.
Okay.
Just vibe. And this one was like, you need to think about it.
I think it's also in the same vein of your TikTok stuff where it's like
Oh, to see this card can also indicate that you are in a period of awakening brought on by the act of self-reflection. You now have a clear idea of what you need to change and how you need to be true, and how you need to be true yourself, and how you need to be true yourself and your needs. What the fuck does that mean? You now have a clear idea of what you need to change and how you need to be true yourself and your needs. I think there's a word missing. This can mean making small changes to your daily life or making huge changes that not only affect you, but the people close to you. Reminds us all that we will be faced with choices that will have an astounding effect for your entire life. The card brings to mind moments where your actions you have taken have changed the course of your path for good. So I think what it's saying is, we asked it about the longevity of the podcast.
Right.
It's telling us this is a moment of reflection and like self-evaluation, and that whatever decision comes out of it will impact us.
Well,
so
that's what I'm saying is it means to me at least the short-term one is like don't get in your own head.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Don't, quit just because you feel like you're doing it wrong. The second one is like, but be purposeful.
Okay.
Like don't get complacent. Don't, whatever, wake up at 3 a.m. and dunk your head in a fucking bottle of water.
Yeah.
Grind, essentially. Like, be deliberate with your choices.
Okay. To this one, it's speaking to me that there is going to be a decision making that we are going to, or there is going to be a decision that needs to be made that's coming up sometime in the future that will impact the longevity of the podcast.
We're
like
almost at 100 monthly listeners, so
yeah, whether we just decide like I can't do this anymore.
Oh no.
Or if we're like, okay, we need to like kind of reform it or like do something. Yeah. So it's going to impact the longevity, whatever decision is coming up.
Companion OnlyFans. Me and Joe can start our OnlyFans on the side as the Patreon.
Finally. He's unemployed until tomorrow.
Are you getting your job?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's next door to his old job.
Yeah.
But it's better. So
everyone congratulate Joe.
Everyone say good job, Joe. Okay. And then next was the success of it, right?
Yeah.
Like do people like us? Will it survive? Is it gonna be successful or fruitful?
This was are we doing it right?
Oh yeah.
This was like, what does the long-term outlook of this look like?
Mm-hmm. And so this is, will it be fruitful, successful?
Will this bear any reward for us?
We got justice, judgment, and justice.
Sounds like celebrity names.
Okay, Justice Tarot.
Celebrity baby names, specifically. Like, how Gwyneth Paltrow's kid's name is Apple?
Apple?
Yeah.
You're kidding.
No.
That's insane.
Judgment and Justice is what I would name two pit bulls in a movie.
Okay, upright justice meaning the decisions that you make now have long-term effects in all things, both for yourself and others. There will always come a time where you will be judged. The Justice Tarot card appearing in a reading signals that a judgment will be made fairly and accordingly. The decisions that you have made in the past will be carefully weighed with fairness. Your feelings around this card may differ depending on your situation.
And it's upright too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Truth must come to pass. This cannot be found from the mouths and gossip of others. It's based on facts. You need to be fair in all your deeds. So I think it's saying the success of it will depend on us not trying to fuck over each other. Which I don't think that was going to happen. But it's saying make a contract just to be safe.
Me when I get more monthly streams on Twitch than you.
Yeah.
No effort whatsoever.
I don't know. It's saying like be fair in your decisions. Don't be. So we were asking it about the success of it. It's saying essentially don't be greedy.
You know what? This is actually really funny. I was thinking about this yesterday because I was like, what if we got like big enough? Like, what if it did go places, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you know, people are like interested in like live shows or whatever. Do we gotta hire a talent? Like, I would feel so silly hiring a talent agent.
Oh yeah.
Like, be like, what's your talent? Podcasting?
Yeah.
Speaking? Like,
yeah. People at work, the basement yard, I've like mentioned them when we were talking about starting it and like our design and shit like that. They're doing like a podcast tour, and my assistant is going to see them, and then maybe Arcelia too. But yeah, she had told me she was going to buy tickets for a podcast tour, and I was like, what is that? What do they do? And then she was like, yeah, they just sit there and like do a podcast episode. And I was like, oh, okay. So it's very interesting that it is something that people are interested in. I just don't know if I would ever want to do that.
I don't know if I could take that seriously.
Yeah.
I would do...
I feel like I would have to do like a stand-up routine or something.
I'm not funny enough to do a stand-up routine.
I'm not either. I'm good at playing off people, but I don't think I can come up with funny shit on my own.
I'll go on other people's podcasts as like a tour.
Yeah.
But I'm not going on tour and just letting you guys watch us.
So, yeah, Justice, is saying, to me, it's saying don't be greedy. Like, you want this to succeed. You need to be fair in your decisions. Make sure it works for everybody. Okay. Type of thing.
I don't have any intention of not being fair.
I don't either. But I'm going to make you sign a prenup.
Damn.
All right. We are at...
What are we at?
An hour and 1 minute. We've been reading tarot for an hour.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
All right.
This was interesting.
Yeah.
The one that I really want to get tattooed on me, now that the reading's over, I can just fucking sort through these. Let me find it. Oh, did you hear about the shit with Nintendo? It's another Nintendo sucks thing.
Well, I feel like Nintendo
just I wanted to get on me.
Kind of always sucks. The death card.
Yeah.
But this specific death card.
Yeah, that thing, like the entirety of it, not just the.
For those of you watching,
I don't even know if they can see it from there.
They can. You can zoom in on YouTube now, I think.
Oh, can you?
I think. I'm pretty sure you can.
But yeah, no, Nintendo is with the Switch 2. It's going to be an always online console. So if you are like traveling or something like that,
you have to have like Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
To even use like this console, like just in general.
I think you can still use it in general, but like for Nintendo Switch Online, right, the little subscription service that they have,
right?
They give you access to a bunch of shittily ported ROMs of their older games.
Okay.
So like things that are on the GameCube or the N64, shit like that, you can play. Get the fuck in there. Hold on, I'm getting beat by a bunch of cardboard. Like any subscription service, like say Netflix, right? You sign up for a month of Netflix, you pay for your month. After a couple days, you watch whatever show you were going to watch, and so you cancel your Netflix subscription. Up until the next billing cycle, you would still be able to watch Netflix. It's just when it comes to the day that the bill is due, it'll ask you to pay it, and then if you don't pay it, then you just can't watch anything, right? How Nintendo Online works is every 12 hours, it checks to see if your subscription is active. If you are... it just does that. And then if you are playing games like through their SNES emulator that they put on the Nintendo store that you can only download through that subscription, let's say you pay your subscription, right? You download the game, you cancel the subscription after you download it, you play the game for a couple hours, you turn it on tomorrow, even though you have paid a month for the Nintendo services, you don't get access to that game anymore. Because your subscription is not currently active.
How is it not active?
Because you canceled it.
Oh, because you canceled it. Oh, yeah. Okay, I think I
yeah, instead of having like until the next month to have that, you only have 12 hours after you cancel the subscription.
Even if you pay for a full month?
Even if you pay for a full month.
That sounds illegal. It sounds super illegal.
It does, but it's how it works.
That doesn't mean it's not illegal.
I know, but that's how it works.
They got to get Clarence Thomas on this to write a shittily worded description or opinion into.
But I'm just fearful that, because with Nintendo, you don't own any of your games. You don't own your console.
You don't do that with PlayStation.
You currently you do. But with
if you own a disc,
even if you have a digital copy.
Nope.
But
with PlayStation, they can lock it. They can just take it off. They can take it off. They did it with a game last year. There was a whole court case about it.
What game?
I forget what game it was. I forget the exact title, but essentially there was a game that they put out. There was no physical release of it. It was download only. There was some kind of like, it was like Cyberpunk where it just launched and it was just hot trash. And instead of Sony fixing it, they just pulled it off the market, including the ones that people bought. And people were like, I can't access this game anymore. And they were like, yeah. And they were like, can I have a refund? And they're like, no, it's in the terms of service.
Are you talking about Helldivers?
Probably.
You could still play it, but it just wasn't listed on their store, and you couldn't like connect to online services.
There was a game that people like literally like it wouldn't even launch the app.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was like gone from people's libraries essentially. Like Sony went in and individually removed from people's libraries.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So how the new Nintendo games are going to work is you don't own the games, you don't own the console. What you are buying when you buy the console and when you buy the games,
Switch 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Is a license to use that Nintendo at any point, if they don't like what you're doing with it, can rescind it. So like if you're pirating games, they can break your Switch. If you're modding the Switch, they can break it. I was
going to ask, are they going to come knock on my door and take my Switch?
No, they just fucking send a signal to it and they're like, this will never work again. Yeah. That's
crazy. That feels so illegal.
Yeah. Evidently they had this with the Xbox 360 as well, but it was a lot easier to like work away.
The red circle was?
No, the red circle was the processor overheating because they were made like shit.
Gotcha.
But apparently, like I said, the Xbox 360 had this, and it was like super easy to work around it. And so it's the same sort of thing where at any point in time, Nintendo can just be like, okay, you can't play this game anymore because you don't actually own it. Even if you have like the physical cartridge for it, they can just brick that. They can ban your account if they don't like what you're doing, or like if you get too many reports in a game or something like that, they can brick your Switch.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So
who's the CEO?
Some old Japanese dude.
What's his first, last name, and address?
I think his last name is Miyamoto, but I don't know anything else. That might be an old CEO.
Are there any handsome Italians out there who might need to know that information?
Yeah, so, and like last year, the Ubisoft CEO, which fuck Ubisoft,
yeah,
they
heavily EA, Ubisoft.
Yeah, they came out and they were like, people need to get used to the idea that they don't own anything anymore, and people were pissed at him for that. And now Nintendo is like, yeah, you can have a physical Switch 2 in your hands, but that's not yours. You don't own it. That is Nintendo property that you are renting.
That's why I was like thinking of buying a PlayStation 5,
and
I'm going to buy a PlayStation. Well, I don't know. I have heard rumors that GTA got delayed not because of development issues with it, but because it's going to be a launch title with a next generation of consoles. Because PlayStation 5 came out in 2020. Well, I think the release was officially 2021, but I remember the pre-orders going live in 2020.
Yeah, I think I got mine like pretty soon after it released because Sony sent me a special email and they were like, "You're such a good boy, you can have one."
Yeah, I don't know the exact release date, but we're 5 years out from it now, so
How I feel like the console generations are getting shorter and shorter.
That's the whole thing.
Am I wrong about that?
There are certain things out there that I really don't think need updating as much.
Yeah.
Cars. Like, it never made sense to me for them to be like, this is the 2023 Honda Civic and this is the 2024 Honda Civic. Like, just say this is the Honda Civic. This is the current model of Honda, the Honda Civic 5 or whatever models this is now. And next year, when we tighten up our, chips a little bit, we'll put another chip in that makes it a little bit more efficient. And it's not anything different. It's just the next generation of chips in it. Like, there's nothing different about it. Like, you don't need to redesign the car every year.
Yeah.
It can look the same for a few years, The same with consoles. I don't need a new console more than or less than 10 years apart. Just if a better processor comes along, if a better graphics card comes, just throw it in there.
Yeah, well, that's why they constantly iterate on consoles, because it's not as easy to just throw it in there for a console. Microsoft last year before stated that they are not going to do a next series of Xboxes. They're transitioning away from hardware because it's such a loss for them.
So what are they going to have everyone do?
They're just going to put out software. Just Microsoft Studios will just put out games.
So how do you play
PC,
games? So they
PlayStation,
and then they'll just have what, Xbox controllers?
I don't even know if they're going to be making those anymore.
That's crazy.
Either. Yeah, well, I mean, they probably will.
That's handing the win to Sony.
Yeah, they probably will make controllers still, just because they have Windows PC and like Xbox Game Pass and shit like that. But yeah, Sony, I guess, made improvements on the rigidity of their consoles with this last generation, because they have it. There's I believe it's a SATA port in the PlayStation that if you open it up, you like disassemble it, you can throw in another SSD in there to give yourself like another place to store games, or just like increase the overall memory of it. But it in terms of like graphics and processing power, it is so much harder to do that on a console, to upgrade that, than it is a PC. Because a PC,
really any computer, because Apple does it all the time with the Macs. They just literally say this is the same exact, like we're literally using recycled material and just swapping out shit.
Yeah, with a PC or any other type of computer, even laptops are somewhat simple to do it on. I just open it up, I take out 4 screws, I pull out my old processor, I put a new one in, and then that's it. It works even better than it did before. With consoles, you can do that, but it's like a more intensive process, just because there's like the way they're built, it's all built like kind of flat. There's a bunch of shit like soldered down that you have to take off.
So
you gotta like flash it, you gotta do a bunch of other shit.
One of my things. So tangentially, one of the big problems right now with the film industry, with Hollywood, is that people aren't going to the movies anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And there's this whole industry debate about why are movies dying? Why is cinema dying? And it's like, the answers are right there, but they kind of just refuse to accept them.
It's because they don't let me bring beans in the theater.
Well, that's kind of actually what it is. It's not necessarily beans, but it's like going to the movies costs bare minimum. If you're sneaking food in with you, it's still costing you for a single ticket $16.
Yeah.
That's just too much money.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. That's minimum wage in California.
Mm-hmm.
That's 1 hour of work in California. So if you want people to go to the movies, make it cheaper. Like, you'll get more money by making it cheap. Like, the math actually checks out. You will get more money if you make it cheaper, because there will be more people buying into it.
Yeah, but the cinemas are the ones that are determining like the ticket prices. Like, yeah, I'm sure Hollywood has some influence on that.
That's the whole thing, is so Hollywood has like the licensing fees, like the cinemas have to, like, essentially it's I mean, it's capitalism, right? You have to buy into capitalism a little bit to accept the truth about it, but it's kind of like the tariffs, right? Where it's like the people, like the consumer pays the tariffs, right? Because logically, like, why would the business eat that cost?
Yeah.
Right? Like, if the business ate that cost, it would just go out of business.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole thing. And so like, yeah, the consumer kind of ends up eating the cost of the ticket, and the theaters aren't gonna, like, because the movie distributors have to make their money.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone has to make money, right?
Yeah.
But that's the whole thing is have you ever been to like a theater on a Tuesday night when they do $5 movie nights? Packed, not a single seat left open. But you go on like a Thursday or Friday night now, and there's hella seats open. And those are premiere nights. And
yeah,
so,
there were. I mean, we went to see a re-release essentially, but I expected it to be more full for Revenge of the Sith.
tickets were $17 each for a re-release.
Yeah.
So it's like AMC. I think it's AMC. They have. So we have Cinemark here, and we have Cinemark's like premium. I don't know what it's called, like Cinemark Premium or Cinemark Plus or whatever. AMC has their AMC A-list, and I think you got 3 movies a month for free or something like that, or 2 movies a month. I don't know what it was. Bottom line, they raised their price for the A-list pass, right? But they gave everyone I think it was 2 movies a month. They gave everyone 4 movies a month.
Okay, so they're increasing the price, but also increasing what you get.
And they only increased it by like $5.
Okay, yeah.
Right?
See, that's a fair
So that's
trade-off.
the whole thing. That literally makes it is more money for people, but it's a smart move because a lot of the times people go to movies with people who don't necessarily, like the people who are part of A-list, right? Those people are the people at the movies.
Yeah.
Right, obviously.
And if you go to the movies, you're gonna get popcorn. You're gonna get something to drink.
And that's
like,
that's
you're
kind
inviting
of
more people.
well, you get a
through the
discount
door.
too on it. Like at Cinemark, we get a 20% discount. But this is the whole thing: is like I don't have Cinemark Plus, so Sean buys our tickets. He gets a free pass, and then he buys me a ticket to go with that, and he gets a discount on tickets standardly. But they're still getting that extra money from him.
Yeah.
And then we go and we buy popcorn. So it's like get butts and seats. And so now I think AMC is doing a thing where Wednesday they're doing $5 movie Wednesday or something. Like they're decreasing prices on Wednesday. And it's like that's going to get more people in. And that's kind of this logic that can be applied to just any industry. So like when we look at like the gaming industry, right? Their Xbox is saying, or Microsoft is saying, oh, the Xbox is not viable for us. Well, it's probably not viable because it's a $500 investment that's going to be obsolete in 6 years when you release another one, or 5 years when you release another one. Because I correct me if I'm wrong. It just seems to me that Xbox releases a lot more consoles.
No,
because they had what? Xbox 360,
yeah,
Xbox One,
Xbox Series X, and then Xbox One.
But then there's like they have other consoles in between there. I thought that were like different types of models.
Yeah, they have different types of models, but like if you want to go into different types of models, PlayStation has probably double, if not triple, the amount.
Well, again, we'll get to PlayStation, but that's what I'm saying. Is like even with like the iPhone, right? Apple's like, oh, sales are down. Well, it's probably because there's an iPhone 17, an iPhone 17 Plus, or are we on 16 right now? I think we're on 16. So iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Plus. Then there's the iPhone 16e, which is like the budget phone. Then there's the iPhone 16 Pro and the iPhone 16 Pro Max. So there's 5 different types of models floating around, plus last year's models that are still in circulation and part of the official lineup.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
There's no reason that an iPhone needs to come out every year. The
best year for iPhones, in my opinion, was the 6 series, because that year they released the 6 and the 6 Plus. The only difference between the 6 and the 6 Plus, the only difference was the 6 Plus had a larger battery because it was a physically larger phone, and you got an extra row of apps. So if you wanted a bigger screen, you would get the 6 Plus. If you wanted a normal size screen, you'd get the 6. Yeah. But now it's like there are features that are part of the Pro Max lines. It's like I have the 15 Pro Max. There are features part of the 15 Pro Max that are not on the 15 Pro. The only difference between the Pro Max and the Pro should be the physical screen size.
Yeah, I can see that, like, them releasing just different sizes instead of like, this one has 2 cameras, this one has 3 cameras.
That's what I'm saying. Like if they want, because they want to go with this whole Pro thing, right? I don't necessarily think that a lot of pro users are buying the Pro phone because they want the Pro phone for pro reasons. They're just buying it because it's the most expensive model.
Yeah,
I buy it because it's the best camera, and I take pictures with my phone. Like,
I got the
pictures.
Pro Max just because it was the one at the top of the list.
Right.
And I'm like, I want everything in it. If I'm going to buy it, I want everything.
So why wouldn't it make sense to scrap R&D for the 16E, for the fucking budget model? Get rid of that, because they're already going to discount the budget model right now. I want to say it's like $500, which is insane.
Yeah,
for a budget model, by the way. It used to be like $300 for
I think I bought like the iPhone SE, I think was my first one, and that was like $200.
Yeah, it used to be super cheap, and I get that inflation, but it's like $500 for a budget phone now is like insane. So why not scrap R&D scrap R&D for the budget phone, scrap R&D for the regular phone and the plus size phone. Just release the iPhone 17, put the 3 cameras on it. Don't make one model that's like a normal model with 2 cameras and then the Pro line with the 3 cameras. Just give everyone the 3 cameras, and then you don't have to pay for the development of the 3 other phones that you're releasing, and funnel that money into production of all these, and everyone will just buy it.
If we really want to be smart, they just need to stop releasing a fucking phone every year.
Well, there's that
because there's
that too.
Hardly any differences year over year. Well, it's like it runs a little bit faster, or the camera's a little bit better. Like, give me a 5-year break, and you come out with a phone that can fucking eat my ass, or like something crazy like that.
Well, no, and that's kind of what I was saying too with like the graphics cards and stuff on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
What I was getting at is because largely Apple doesn't need to change the form factor of their phones.
Mm-hmm.
Like this year, the rumored phones are gonna have like the fucking is gonna be the same exact thing, but the bump is gonna be the whole back.
Yeah, they're like putting them in a straight line instead of like a little triangle.
No, it's still gonna be a triangle, but like just imagine like you know how this is raised up a little bit.
Yeah,
the raise is gonna be the whole back because they're putting some extra technology in there for like stabilization. That it's fine, whatever, right? My point is that like the iPad that we record this on, that form factor for that iPad has not changed. That's a 2020 iPad.
Yeah.
I can take a 2025 iPad and put it in that case.
Yeah.
And it will still work.
Yeah.
So they don't need to release a new one because all they're doing is just upgrading the chips, which is fine. But you don't need to do like a whole release. Just silently update the chips.
Yeah.
Just say every year we're going to update the chips. And that's what I'm saying is I think that PlayStation or Sony could benefit by exploring revamping the next PlayStation to be that type of thing where they don't have to build a whole new form factor just to give everyone a little bit better things. And then they don't they don't have to R&D a whole new thing. They can just still produce the thing that they're doing and charge everyone, right? Stop releasing a discless version. Stop releasing a pro version. Just decide what you want to release. Release one thing, and everyone will buy it.
I think
and make it cheaper.
Yeah.
I get that your profit margins need to be 10 million% so that you can buy your 17th house. But like, if you make stuff cheaper, people will buy it.
Yeah.
It's the same exact reason that like when I go to the store, I will buy, like today, I had to buy oatmeal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Quaker Oats oatmeal in the little cylinder was like $8.
For real?
Yeah.
I haven't bought, well, I mean, I don't eat oatmeal that often, but I feel like when I was a kid, that shit was like $2.
I feel like it was too. Quaker Oats oatmeal in like the cylinder was like $8, right?
Mm-hmm.
The generic Rayleigh's brand version of the same exact thing with a different label that doesn't say Quaker Oats, it's the same exact thing, $4.
Oh, yeah.
So what did I buy? The $4 one. It doesn't taste any it doesn't operate any different. It does the same exact thing.
Yeah.
It's the same way that like, you know, I wanted a fucking Hydro Flask.
Mm-hmm.
Hydro Flask doesn't own the patent for them. They own the brand.
Yeah.
So people can just do Hydro Flasks if they want. So I went out and I bought from a company that uses the same supplier as Hydro Flask. And it was like $30 cheaper.
Yeah.
You're just paying for the label. So if you're a company like Sony or Microsoft, don't release the Xbox Series X and then say this is the Xbox Series X Premium. Just release it from the start. Just say this is like, it's going to be this model of thing that is super awesome, super capable, super whatever. This is the whole thing. Apple kind of did this. They did it with the Mac Mini, I want to say it's called. It's the one that looks like the Apple TV.
Mm-hmm.
They released one that pretty much was comparable to the Mac Pro, which is that big cheese grater looking one.
Yeah, that you have to buy the $1,000 wheels for.
And you can like rack it. Yeah. It's comparable in computing to that and like power to that. $500.
Yeah. I remember seeing that when it came out, and everyone was like, why the fuck did you release this big ass thing?
Right. Like, and that's what I'm saying. There was no, well, there is now. There's a Mac Mini Pro. But when they released it, when they revamped it with their own silicon, it was just Mac Mini. And it was like, hey, I can now go out and buy this for $500. And then computer screens now are fairly cheap. They're kind of on the same vein as TVs. You can buy a decent monitor for a couple $100 and get a lot out of it.
Yeah.
So for $700, for less than a single iPhone, I can go out and buy like a supercomputer effectively.
Yeah.
Versus having to go out and buy a $1,500 MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
With the only trade-off being that I can't take my Mac Mini with me everywhere.
Yeah.
So it's just like
the only difference I can see, and this doesn't really exist anymore in terms of PlayStation, but like the PlayStation 2 generation, it when they were releasing, the first one was like super fucking thick. It had like a tray that you push a button in, it like slides out, then you put it in there and it slides back in. And then they came out with the PlayStation 2 Slim, and it was like a complete redesign of the console. Like it had better cooling and shit like that. I think to kind of advocate for releasing shit every year, like shit is going to improve, like technology is going to improve and keep moving forward.
Right.
And that's why for like PlayStation, for example, they'll release the PS5. They'll then like 3 or so years later release the PS5 Pro, and then like other shit like that. I think it's an advancement in technology that they want to capture and put into their products, but it's not major enough to where they're like, okay, there's going to be an entirely new generation. And from what I've heard is going to happen with the next generation of consoles, not like any specifics from any company, it's just a bunch of people theory crafting, is everybody is just going to start shipping pre-built PCs. Essentially, they're going to be super modular. They're going to have it so that like they can just release their own brand of parts, or say like, yeah, we came up with this like graphics card that fits into your PlayStation. You just pull the old one out, put the new one in, and it'll just be like a couple $100, and that will be the future. There will be no next generation of
and
consoles. Everything will be PC.
That is what they should. I know it sounds like, you know, a full circle moment, but like that's what they should do.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
Like, everything, it should effectively be like a car.
Yeah.
Right. Where like I can go, because I don't own a Toyota, right? But if I own an Acura, I can go to Toyota and say, hey, give me that alternator, because Acura is Toyota's luxury brand. Right. And everything's like interchangeable.
Yeah.
And I can get the cheaper part, and it does the same exact thing. It doesn't do anything worse than it is. It's just the name brand is not as powerful. And that's the whole thing. Like, if you're someone who's like, I'm fine with my graphics card as it is right now, like I don't need a new one, but I would for sure like, I don't know, more RAM for whatever reason. Sure. Then go out and swap out your RAM. Like,
yeah, the difference between PCs and consoles back in the day was computers were good at like just handling simpler games, or just very like kind of one note tasks. But with the way games were built back then, it was a little bit more complicated. There was a bit more rendering that had to be done that a PC wouldn't be nearly as good at. Nowadays, PCs far surpass consoles. Like Destiny, for example. Playing it on my PlayStation, I hit the fucking planet I want to go to. It sits there. My spaceship is like flying in orbit for like 30 seconds, and then I'm flying through hyperspace for 30 seconds, whatever. And then with you too, when we were playing, there was like that old like Destiny
30,
delay that you're used to.
You're already on like the mission, and I'm like still in orbit.
I was playing last night by myself offline, not streaming offline, and I had selected a planet I want to go to. My ship instantly took off. Like PCs now are so much better at doing everything that a console does that people just build PCs instead of buying into a generation of consoles that's going to be upgraded in a couple years.
Let me ask you this.
Console exclusives were another reason why people bought consoles, but that is also becoming obsolete. Like there's Sony games on Steam. There's Microsoft games on the PlayStation Store.
So I have three main aversions. Excuse me. I have three main aversions to a PC because I've thought about getting a gaming PC. My first pre-question, though, I have one pre-question. How much? This is kind of a hard subjective question. How much does a gaming PC cost? Like, I'm not someone who needs, like, for me, if you're building something for me, what are you looking at?
I mean,
because I'm not someone who's,
yeah, I got the top of the line shit in all of my PC because I do like a bunch of streaming and like.
Well, I would do streaming still on my PC if I got it, but like, I don't think I'm putting it through the ringer.
Okay.
You see how I play. You see the games I play. You see how often I play. Like, I'm not putting it through the ringer, in my opinion. I'm,
I think
playing it a couple times a week, couple hours.
You could get away with building one for around $1,000.
$1,000. Okay.
Yeah, most of that is going to be the graphics card.
So then that's my aversion is I can just go out and buy a PlayStation 5 for $500 and have everything I need.
Yeah, but it doesn't have everything you need. Like, well, I guess if everything you want is just on a PlayStation, like that's fine.
Yeah.
But for me, I like so many different games from so many different genres that if I wanted to play them all, I would have to own like 6 different devices. Whereas with the PC, I got it all there. Like if I want to play an old Nintendo game, I don't need an N64. I can just allegedly download an emulator and allegedly download a ROM, and I'm playing Super Mario 64 on my PC instead of going out and buying a Nintendo Switch.
Right.
If I want to play Halo, they got the fucking Master Chief Collection on Steam. If I want to play Ratchet and Clank, like that's also on Steam. Like it's just everything that you could want and everything you didn't know that you could want is just in one thing. And it's future proof too.
That's my second aversion is I am very much a physical media person.
Yeah. Well, physical media is just not being made anymore, so you're going to have to give that up.
We need to change it.
I agree. But I like having the physical media for shit.
My third and final aversion, before my dog sneaks in here, I can hear him coming, is... Oh, yep, here he is.
If you want physical media, you can just install everything onto flash drives, and then I'll draw you a nice picture to put on a box and then give it to you.
On camera. My third and final...
Avic, you gotta move. Get over here.
See, you can see my fucking gooch and my dog in this episode if you're on YouTube. My third and final aversion is that I have to use Windows. And I fucking hate Windows.
Windows is so much better than Mac OS.
No, sorry. That's something I'm not able to compromise on.
Okay,
I'll run it if I have to.
I've used both of them extensively, and Windows is just so much better.
I'll compromise on
I can never find a fucking file on Mac. I had to, if I wanted to access the drive, like my hard drive, I had to go into settings and enable me to be able to look at my fucking hard drive.
So the whole thing with Mac versus Windows, because I've used both extensively, because I use Mac for my personal stuff, and then I have to use Windows for work. And we'll wrap this up. But the extent that I've kind of come down to is that Windows is more of a creative thing, and Mac is more of a productive thing. So like Mac, you're running your fucking, word processor, your spreadsheets, shit like that. Your GarageBand, you're, a music producer, and you have a what fucking OBS for stream or whatever. Whereas Windows, it allows for more customizability. So it like allows for more niche stuff, whereas Mac is more broad.
I do agree that Windows is more customizable. I feel like Mac is better for you if you have no idea what you were doing.
If you have no idea what you're doing, or if you're very like for me, like I have no reason to get something that's on a Mac because I'm using my computer for 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't, so, but yeah. Oh, my dog's eating, so we should wrap this up.
All right. Thanks for watching.
What would you ask the tarot cards?
Yeah.
And before we leave, I'm going to read right into the mic socials because we forget. Give me 1 second here. Grocery lists, copy pastas. Christ. Okay. YouTube, which you should already be liking and subscribing and leaving a comment to, is Learning Curve Pod. Bluesky, we are learningcurvepod.bsky.social. Twitter, we are at learncurvepod. Instagram, learningcurve.podcast. And TikTok, we are at Learning Curve Podcast. Bodhi's Twitch is Shrink3Dink. And as of this week, my Twitch is ChefCram_. I do streams on Thursdays. Bodhi does streams whenever he feels like it.
Pretty much.
If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or a podcast platform that is not YouTube, please leave us a rating and review, a written review, possibly.
Yeah. Tell us, if we were in a car crash, who you would save first.
Yeah. Who would you save first, me or Bodhi?
Yeah. You can't pick yourself. Okay.
Bye.